Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be discussing Luocha and reasons why you should consider pulling him. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Let's begin by discussing Luocha's kit, which has quite a lot of things to go over. Luocha is an imaginary abundance healer who scales his healing based off of attack. Luocha can create a field called Abyss Flower, and this field is inflicted onto enemies, and whenever an ally attacks that enemy, then they will regenerate health based on Luocha's attack, and this field will last for numerous turns. The ways to get Abyss Flower field onto enemies is by gaining 2 Abyss Flower stacks through his skill and ultimate. Luocha's skill is able to recover an ally's health and allow him to get 1 stack of Abyss Flower, and he's able to emergency heal an ally when they are below a certain HP threshold without consuming a skill point. This can come in very handy if you make a mistake during battle, or just take a lot of damage at once, such as when the enemy targets Ting Yun, even though my Japard is on the team, and they still attack Ting Yun anyway. But, you know, that seems to happen quite often, at least for me. Only downside though is that the skill's emergency heal does have a cooldown, but it's still pretty useful overall. One of Luocha's traces allows him to dispel debuffs from an ally he heals through his skill, which is quite essential for a utility, which I'll get into shortly. As for his ultimate, Luocha conducts an AoE attack against all enemies and is able to dispel a buff from enemies. And for each buff Luocha dispels, he gains a stack of Abyss Flower, which is extremely beneficial because if you're fighting numerous enemies that have buffs, now you're guaranteed an Abyss Flower field just from his ultimate alone, which can make him quite skill point efficient overall. Being able to dispel buffs from enemies is quite useful as you can remove defense buffs, attack buffs, and even remove the Mara struck soldier's ability to self-revive themselves. And if you fight multiple of them, then you'll be able to get your Abyss Flower field quite consistently. As for his traces, he's able to cleanse allies with skill, recover energy whenever he uses an ultimate, and lastly, he won't receive damage beyond 80% of his max HP through a single hit, which allows Luocha to have a bit more survivability for himself, accounting for how he wants to have attack rather than HP like our other healers for the healing scaling. So this trace is a nice bonus in case your Luocha is a bit more squishy due to primarily stacking attack. Of course, this kit is based off of the beta and what we officially know from HoYoverse, and once he is out or near the time he's out and they officially confirm everything, I will be retouching Luocha just in case they do change certain things. But for right now, this seems pretty accurate overall, just based on what we fully know. Now that I've explained his kit though, let's get into reasons why Luocha would be great for your account. Additionally, if you are enjoying the video so far, make sure to subscribe for more style content from me, and now let's carry on. Luocha being able to cleanse, which is removing the debuffs from an ally, is very useful, especially against bosses like Kafka or that deer boss. Kafka is able to dominate your teammates, which I've said before and I'll say it again, isn't very fun even if it may sound fun. Just don't fall for it. She's trying to trick you into letting her beat you up and also take all your Stellar Jade for when we do get a banner for Kafka. I'm just kidding. If you love Kafka, go for her, since I'm sure she'll be great and I'll discuss that in a later video. Regardless, being able to remove that debuff is very useful overall, and the deer boss summons his plants, which one of the plants can aggravate your teammates in a sense where they automatically normal attack and you're unable to click skill or ultimate on that ally. Currently that deer is in Memory of Chaos 6, and it is quite annoying not being able to use your ultimate, especially if it's crucial for you to possibly get your shields or your healing or even getting off a damaging ultimate if the enemy is weakness broken and you're trying to get as much damage as possible before they regain their toughness meter. Overall, being able to cleanse is incredibly useful to have in any supportive character's kit, such as Bronya, such as Natasha, and so on. It's just a really useful benefit to have. Now let's discuss why his Abyss Flower field is really good. The Abyss Flower field allows for your teammates to have much more sustainability, and because of his skill kit, he could be on majority if not all teams, similar to Bailu and Natasha. I personally think Luocha though is better to pair with hyper offensive allies like Seele, Sushang, and so on, since Seele and Sushang can highly benefit from the Abyss field since they have skill kits that allow them to attack numerous times in a turn order, and as a result can heal quite a lot within a single turn, and are able to sustain themselves quite well from Luocha's field. Blade can also benefit from the field due to Blade prioritizing attacking, sacrificing his HP, as well as using his follow-up attacks that he gains from basically getting hit from enemies, and then once he gets enough stacks, he's able to counterattack, or rather follow-up attack the enemy. Blade can sacrifice his health a bit more freely, and if the Abyss Flower field is up, then he can attack freely and recover his health back without having to worry about possibly using a skill point for numerous turns trying to keep Blade's health up, since the field can allow him to regain health without Luocha needing to use a skill point every single turn to heal him, and as a result can be a very skill point efficient synergy, at least in my eyes. I will of course test them both once they're both here, and I will be conducting a lot of testing for Luocha himself to figure out his best partners, but overall his flexibility for team comps is quite good. Lastly, I want to discuss harder content in the game, specifically Memory of Chaos. Memory of Chaos is quite difficult for most, including myself, and being able to have consistent sustain within the mode is quite useful. While we do have free-to-play options March 7th, Natasha and Fire MC, some may want a new form of sustainability, and I feel like he can provide so much for those harder modes with his cleansing, Abyss Flower field, and so on. Also, his Abyss field can be pretty strong with a character like Welt or a character that can entangle enemies to delay them, due to the field lasting numerous turns. If you're able to delay enemies from attacking, then you can regenerate health at a really good rate before the enemy can even attack you again, so overall it's just really powerful. Also, one more reason I have for wanting to pull Luocha is that he has beautiful luscious locks. I mean, look at his hair. I need to figure out what shampoo and conditioner he uses because he looks amazing. My only reason I'd say to pass up Luocha is if you feel like your account has enough sustainability as is and doesn't necessarily need him. People who have Gepard or Bailu can likely skip Luocha, as you already have quite a lot of sustain from those two options as well. If you were to go into a harder mode or just a harder fight, are you able to live throughout that fight, or do you feel like you would really appreciate another healer? I can't personally determine that for you, however, I did want to go over Luocha and just explain to you why he is a good option overall. Ultimately though, Luocha seems like an incredible character for supporting your teammates, and I'll be giving you guys a Luocha guide once he's here, and make another video soon as to how to prepare for Luocha coming out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to become a Luma today, which I actually thought of this nickname like a day or two ago, trying to figure out what to call our community in my Discord just for a subscriber base and all of that. And it's like Rosalina's Lumas from Mario, and since I go by Moon, little cute Luma stars just seem so fitting. Let me know though if you guys like it, or if you guys feel like we should change it. Leave a like though, of course, to also support the video, and let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite TV show and if you're going to pull for Luocha. I hope all of you have a nice one, of course. Peace.